You're ready. Oh, you're so ready. You're so ready. I hear
I
it in
want
your
to do this.
laughter.
Yeah. That's the very
As
first
soon
thing
as we
that the
start.
world is gonna hear because I already started. I
Oh,
already
hell
started.
yeah!
That's
He
totally the
started
first
it.
thing.
He started it. I don't want to do this. What a beautiful sentiment.
Oh
That should be our
God.
tagline for the show. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling. Loser Leaves Wrestling. This is the Woos and Whats of AEW Dynamite. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with.
Hi everybody. This is Mo at Jaswell. Oh, it's Mo at Jaswell.
Yeah.
Could you hear
Oh,
that? That
yeah.
wasn't
Because
good.
when we're doing it live, this is us doing it live. We're doing it live. Thank you all so much. Y'all just finished watching AEW Dynamite as well, I suppose, and we're having fun time talking about it. Moet, how did you feel about tonight? Did you if you were to give this show a 1 out of 10, where would you place this entire
Oh, that's a
feeling
fun
of
question,
show?
Red. I don't, because some big things have happened. Big things happened. Big
Sure.
debuts and stuff. But also a lot of filler. A lot of seems like a lot of storylines aren't going to change. So that's kind of a bummer. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I guess I would give it a 7, maybe a 6, maybe as a
Okay.
show. I had fun
I give it
for most of it.
I completely
New
forgot
haircut,
that
yeah.
this was a fun show.
We
I completely forgot that this was a fun show until you just mentioned it. Who was
Squiz.
commenting? Who did it say?
Chica
Swizz?
Red, you didn't comment
Swizz and Chica
on
Mark.
the haircut. You rascal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I commented before.
Yeah.
We were having some technical
But
difficulties.
this wasn't live.
I was
You
saying
gotta,
that
yeah, it's a
this
big
wasn't
change.
live. We have to talk about Moat's haircut because Moat cut off his beautiful
Yeah,
locks.
it's all gone.
For some reason,
all-
at least he does it. I wish he could just keep the headband, right? Sound off if he should still wear the headband. I almost feel like that's become a staple
have
on
the
the show.
headband. I don't
and then he's
know
going around.
where the headband. Well, I don't know why I
Right.
just did that. You just saw my
Now
shorts.
we're really
That was-
flying
Yeah,
without a
what is
wheel.
happening right now? This is embarrassing.
This is.
I forgot that was a
Oh, no,
camera
no,
that's
it's not
on this
embarrassing.
computer screen. I just moved.
We're doing
Oh, God.
excellent work. Excellent work.
We lost the headband.
Let's
We
talk
lost the
about
headband. This is off.
We lost
yeah.
the headband.
Red. Should I go
No,
get their
we
headband?
can't. Do
Don't
not-
get the headband?
Yeah, you should probably go get the headband. You should probably go. I'll vamp.
All right.
He's got to get the headband. So we're talking AEW Dynamite. This is the woos and whats. While Moa gets the headband, there's the woos and whats where we talk about the good and the bad, the best and the worst of AEW Dynamite. We give them the woos and the whats. That's their fun thing. And I already hear him coming back, but I wanted to give you that synopsis of what's going on. How did I feel about the show? 5. Solid, not even a solid 5. I was shaky about everything on this show. There was some cool stuff and it was just surrounded by others not so cool stuff, but I'm being picky. Apparently someone online commented saying that I was being too hard on the show, which I disagree with. I'm trying to find us on here to see if I could answer any questions. Lord knows I don't know how to find out where we are. And we're live. There we are. And there he's got a headband. Excellent job.
Red, it doesn't work with the... Red, this doesn't work with the short hair.
It does.
Look
It
at this.
totally
This
works.
is insane. This is insane.
This
All
looks
right.
great.
I look so
it looks great.
sleep
It looks like
deprived
you're,
and crazy because I...
you look like an anime character. I think I've said it before. I think that the high hair makes it look like cartoonishly like long sprouts, you know?
I was not prepared
doing
for
great.
this. This is off the rails right
The
now.
farther and farther you pull it back, the more you look like Trent.
Jesus. All right.
Excellent.
All right. What did I miss?
Oh, so I gave him the rundown of what the show's about. So let's start it off. Let's start off real hot, Moet. Moet, what should I start first? I'll start with my
I'm
woo
struggling
first.
right now, so I need some...
You fucking kid. Okay, the biggest woo of the night for me. The biggest woo of the night is Andrade. Andrade, Moet.
Oh, Andrade. Yes, Andrade.
That's
Huge.
The biggest woo. For me,
Huge.
that's the biggest woo
Yes,
of the night.
very
right?
exciting. And he signed. He's actually signed, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a like one-off appearance or like, you know, something like that. But they did the image on Twitter. They did the He's All Elite. So that's huge. It's a big, yeah.
Very exciting. And it's just, I'm so happy for him, first off, because I really like him as a performer. And I feel like this is the best signing that they've gotten in a while. It feels like each one of their signings has been a bit of a letdown from WWE. Like it's been Big Show and Mark Henry. And while I love Christian, it just wasn't that big Brock Lesnar pop I was hoping for. This is a step in the
Oh,
right
for
direction.
sure. Yeah, I mean, he's like one of the best wrestlers on the planet right now. So they finally, yeah, he's got a place to show this off again after months of catering, I'm sure. So,
Now, Moet, what do you think of that pairing with Vicky Guerrero?
oh, that was so fascinating, and I really want to know what like everyone's opinion is on this, really, because like I just
Okay.
uh, it didn't make sense to me at first, but the more I let it like simmer, the more I'm into it. We'll see where it plays, how it plays out. But yeah, what about you
Sure.
before we get?
As soon as she came out, I was I was so happy to see Vicky Guerrero is one of the best managers in front of a crowd. Without a crowd, she doesn't know what to do. She's just being very supportive and loving of Nyla Rose, but with a crowd, she's excusing me and excusing, and then they start cheering over, and she'll stop everything she's saying to say "excuse me" again. She really knows how to work a
Oh,
live crowd. So I was so excited for when she started doing that when
do
she
you
first
think
came
that's
out.
do you
The
think that's why
Andrade,
she hasn't been around much since she debuted or something?
yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
it makes a lot
I
of sense.
100%. She debuted during
Yeah.
COVID, where she couldn't really be her. She is someone that, and I sound off in the comments if you think that Vicky's really doing great. Isn't Vicky also the manager for Nyla Rose and some other woman? Yes, Swiz. Yes, she is the manager for only
Only
Nyla
Nyla
Rose, I
Rose for
feel.
now. They had some great T-shirts made, and
Vicious
yes, yeah, they
Vixens,
were known the Vicious Vixens. And then later on in the night, for Britt Baker's big celebration, she was there with Nyla Rose when Nyla ruined the party, blew up some balloons and stuff.
which we will
Yeah, yeah.
get to. Actually, us talk about what's your biggest woo of the evening, Mo.
Oh
What
no, well,
was
that was
yours?
it.
Was
That was
yours
the Andrade
Andrade?
thing. Yeah, yeah. So I was thinking
Okay.
because I guess he's going to be a heel because Vicky was there, right? But everyone wanted to cheer him because he's
That
a
would be
really big deal. What's
ridiculous.
that?
Yeah, that would be ridiculous if they did
Yeah, yeah,
anything
yeah.
else. If they
I'm
try
just
to
kind of
make, yeah,
stating it
but you
out
continue.
because that was my thinking of just like, what is going on? But I think if they wanted him to be seen as a heel, then you need Vicky there. You need her to rile up the crowd for his big appearance, right? Because people still wanted to cheer him. And so once that like kind of clicked in my brain, I'm like, oh, that was actually a genius pairing. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And one it gives her something to do. It gives one, and I like the idea of these factions now. I hated it before, and now I like it because now it gives Andrade something to do for Nyla Rose to do something for Andrade, and their worlds don't have to be together. They don't have to be in tags or anything like that, but just that they have that connection, that loose connection. As long as they're not all appearing all at the same time every
Sure.
time, that's when it kind of loses me. You know?
Yeah. That would be a good transition to one of my other things that I liked. Real quick, I don't know
Sure,
if
sure,
we want
sure,
to just
sure.
jump
Let's go
around or
into it.
not, but
Yeah, give me another
this is
woo.
the
Give me a
well,
different
the Eddie
woo.
promo. It's very short, but this goes exactly into what you were saying. Oh God, look at that face.
Eddie
Eddie
promo.
Eddie Kingston, the only Eddie.
He had a
Yeah,
promo.
well, it wasn't really a promo. He said like two sentences. He said,
Did I completely? Tell me what he said. Do your Eddie Kingston and
"You're
tell
my
us what he
best
said.
friend."
Two
I
cents.
can't. I'm so tired right now. I can't. But that's literally all he said. You remember that
That's
he
good.
was about he
That's
was it
good.
was one of those pros like Eddie has something important to say and then he never gets to say it. Yeah, Eddie has something
Sure,
important to say.
sure,
And then
sure.
Pac and
I must have spaced completely out. Like there's a lot of spacing out for me in
oh
this episode. So he comes out and he's just saying that
no,
he's
he
someone's
literally says
best
nothing.
friend.
He at
Mox.
first he's like, yeah, something important to say. The announcer does, and he's like, well, and then Pac and Pentagon show up. And there's because earlier in the night Eddie Kingston saved them or from a beatdown by the Young
Sure.
Bucks and all that.
Yeah.
Um, and Pac was saying something along of just like how he doesn't trust him or something like that, and Eddie, it's like you're my best friend, and then that was it. But man, look, this is why you're supposed to be the one to pay attention
No, you're
and
doing it. You're
explain this.
doing
I
it. No,
can't
you're
do
the
that.
Zane.
I can't do a play by play
You're
like
doing a
you
great
do.
job.
But the point is, the
But
reason why I like it is it showed the history that, they started out as a team or like that they were like working together. But there was, because of the betrayal, like even though Eddie came back to show that he still like wants to be friends with these guys, like Pac is just like, you know, he was like abused. He was worried, and he just feels like he can't trust this guy, you know, even though he just got saved by him. And I just found that dynamic kind of like beautiful and like,
Or
yeah. So shared
I
history.
like
Yeah.
that they're doing more. Yeah, like one of the thing is there's going to be a lot of mistakes that AEW makes. One of them being that they don't rehearse, they're a little scattershot. But one thing they like to do is remember things. They like to remember things, which is pretty cool. They do call back to a lot of things that not only in their company, but in other companies. You know, they're talking about Dean Malenko's 1001 Holds, you know, the list. They're talking about things in past. So I really appreciate about it. Real quick, Moet, who do you want for Andrade's first feud? Smiz wants to ask. If you were to just go right now, who do you want his first feud to be?
Well, he's gonna face
Let's say a
Kenny
building up
Omega in AAA.
Sure.
That's gonna be great.
Do you think he should
I
start
think he's
off
literally
with
starting
that?
off with that, isn't he? But I would want someone with a similar style. I'd be very excited against Phoenix would probably be really cool, or Pentagon. Someone with like a luchador sort of style.
I would love,
but like there's
a Dark Order. I want a Dark Order feud.
I did not expect that.
I want him. I was thinking because I was thinking he's just starting out with the company. He's still trying to reestablish, but I almost see like I would love like him and John Silver to have just like a mini feud where Andrade gets the win, and then moves on to the next person. But I would think my first feud for him would be something small, fast, and the wrestler.
Oh, you're being like smart about this. Okay, you're like actually like planning the storylines.
TK is listening.
TK's listening. Yeah.
TK's
I was just going for
listening.
fantasy. I'm like Phoenix, the best. Let's just do the best right away. But you're right. You think you'd want to build it up slowly and show off his skills.
Yeah,
in the new
I want to see him.
Federation company, whatever.
I love when new people climb the ladder. I love I don't like when they skip steps. I don't like when they get title shots immediately. I want some sort of build up to make me think, oh, well, they fought to get there. Like I want it to feel important. God damn it.
I agree. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's go on. We've talked about Vicky and Andrade. We've talked about them keeping with some storytelling. See, look at me. I'm wrapping it around. We're doing great. Mo, what's your next big woo of the evening? What do you got?
This is small, another small one, but Miro had a very quick promo and it was awesome. It was great, and I'm just always so excited
100%
to see him in this state now. Just big, angry, big, strong dude screaming. It's great. What?
And having intelligent insults. He's like, "You're too emotionally unstable," and he's like talking about his emotions, and you're not going to be emotionally ready for this match. And it was just a good, straight up, not too confusing. He's not going too over the top, but he's being very thoughtful, which is kind of in his wheelhouse of being kind of like really like into it.
I think he's a perfect heel champ. As for like mid card heel champ, I love him in this role. He looks dangerous in like a very like cartoon supervillain sort of way. You know, like
he does look like a Street Fighter character. He looks like Zangief.
I do like that he has to talk about a guy named Evil Uno, and he's doing it in his extremely serious way, like Evil Uno, how dare you? You know, it's just really great stuff.
But what that is a part of my woo, but also the Dark Order segment beforehand, where Johnny Hungy passes off his challenge to Evil Uno because it was his birthday celebration. But the thing I love most is I'm so excited for next week. I am so excited for that match. Evil Uno versus Miro is going to be, I feel like, short. It's going to be a 10-minute crazy match. It's going to be a video game match.
He's your boy.
They're both video game characters. And they're both video game characters. Like they both feel like Evil Uno's like a Mortal Kombat. He's more of a Street Fighter, and they're going to have a really cool mashup. But it's going to be short, which I love too, because it's going to be fast and tense. But it's going to be no more than 10 minutes. I can't imagine.
Yeah, and I was just saying, you must be very excited to see Evil Uno in the spot, right? You've always been champion him and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a definite Evil Uno champion. Sound off in the comments if you love that Uno. We have a Miro's amazing. Shout out to my wife for being hot. Miro,
Oh, yeah, that was such
yeah,
a
which
great
is
line. I
very
forgot
funny.
to mention that. Yeah, I like that they're finally able to talk about each other in these ways. Yeah.
That's very exciting. Check out the news you can't lose tomorrow, where we're going to talk about
Mm.
that a little bit. Just all the people that were released. But and also Miro Smiz says Miro feels unbeatable. Feels like it'll be a very long title reign.
I
What do you
love
think
it. I
about that,
love
Moet?
that. I felt that way for every TNT champion so far, and I really like that about that belt so far.
Yeah,
Yeah. Same. Like Darby Allin, I felt the exact same way, and he had a pretty decent reign, and I feel the same way about Miro, and I think that's the exact way that that belt should be handled. So.
yeah. Okay. Well, I couldn't have said it better myself, Moet. Excellent job. Now, do you have any other woos going on?
Um, yeah, just some small stuff. Oh, do you not? Are you done? We just got
Well, I have
started.
a lot of like nitpicky woos. I have a lot of nitpicky woos, but no big like. Okay, here's one from me. Here's one that I got. The Britt Baker celebration.
Yes. Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
this
it was
on your
fun.
woos as
It
well?
was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more so for the fact of how absolutely ridiculous it was. First off, she's having a birthday celebration. She doesn't like anyone in the ring. She's got a bunch of hamburgers there. And because this is some weird surprise prize night where this thing's on their chairs, she said that she gave them all a burger coupon, but then decided not to give them the burger coupon because she's going to keep all the burger coupons for herself. It was so ridiculous. I couldn't even put it. And then she wants to have like
Wait,
like just her and Reba and Tony eat a burger
wait.
together.
There's like a slight context behind it, which I think there's a
What?
very slight context that I read on the internet. Like apparently this is her like McDonald's is her favorite like cheat meal, the Big Mac. And
Sure.
so at one point she tweeted about it, and then I think I don't know about this, but she must have messaged them about like if she wins, you know, like you know, get her some free stuff or something. So this, I think, when she won, McDonald's like legitimately sent them 1,500 Big Mac coupons, and then they turned it into this thing.
If they sent
I
them
think,
Big Mac
yeah,
coupons, why didn't they ever say the name of
yeah.
the
That part I don't
burger?
know. They
Like
just
it's
kept saying,
weird. They're
yeah.
they're like, we have all these coupons for any burger. Like what is very ridiculous. And the fact that she's hoarding all these
For
coupons for
herself.
herself, like some
Well, then
burger
she's a mean
miser.
person, and we have to boo her. I would boo the heck out of her if she kept some
I
burger
would boo
coupons
the
for
heck
me
out of that as well.
after promising them. But that
But
that is actually hilarious to think of that out of context. Like if you don't know anything about that, she's like, "We're gonna eat these burgers, Tony." Man, that's insane.
that's what it looked like. I did not know this inside context of McDonald's. It was very strange. Thank you so much. Chica Mark says so weird, and we agree. Mo, what other woos you got going on?
I mean, Nyla was great in that segment.
Sure,
I was
sure.
paying attention to her, but yeah, because it was such a weird group of people in the back. I really loved Angelico. That was my favorite out of all of the weirdos in the back.
Sure.
Man, I'd want to run
Yeah.
into that guy at a party. Just with his like bucket hat, his green bucket hat, and he's shirtless and he's got shades on.
And Jack Evans
Oh, he
too.
just looked like
Jack
a
Evans
sad
too.
dad. He just looked like a sad like chaperone. Didn't want to be
he
there.
is he is 10 years older than
Oh
anyone in the
yeah,
room.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but no, they were all like doing the DMD and following along with her, except for Nyla, and I was like, I didn't. I'm so glad they actually capitalized on that. I thought that was just like another thing where they didn't explain to everyone like, no, you gotta follow along, and it felt good that I don't know, it was just good storytelling. I thought it was fun. Yeah.
it did. It was very, and I like the fact that they put her in the, because I immediately thought that was weird that Nyla was there, because I was just like, they don't like each other. She's a former champion, like I didn't, but I'm glad they called it out. And that's a good way to start your next feud. That's a good way to do it. My favorite part, actually, I forgot about until this moment, was when they're trying to grab the burgers, her, Rebel, and Tony, and then Tony can't pick it up. And she's like, Jesus, Tony.
Yeah, he had his back towards the camera, so I couldn't see what was happening.
I just
He's
assume he
got
couldn't get a handle on
crab
it.
hands or something. Yeah.
Yeah, very funny.
And Red,
Very funny.
have you ever popped a balloon with your hands? Really?
Yeah.
I've never done it. I was impressed at how easy Nyla could do it. She got like Oh, is it the
Nails.
nails? She had sharp
Nails.
nails, you think?
Nails. Oh, you could pop those things. Ta 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 ta.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Because she got like three
I'm
of
almost
them
certain.
like so quickly.
I'm almost certain. Like when we squeeze it, you have to. There's gonna be like, unless those are cheap ass balloons.
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Sound off in the comments if you know anything about balloons. If you know anything about balloons, sound off in the comments. Okay. Moving on, we've got more fun stuff lined up. Another woo of the evening. Do you have another woo? I've got tidbits I could give you.
Me too. This was a tidbit episode. There wasn't a lot of juicy stuff, but a lot of great little moments, I gotta say.
Don Callis calling AEW Impact Wrestling. That was a tidbit, and you could see the look on his face. Immediately he hushed up. He's just like, Matt Jackson being one of the best in Impact. All of wrestling.
Yeah, and then I have nothing much more to say about this, but I love that there's now a jungle hierarchy. Right? There's the Jungle Boy, the Jungle Man, and the Jungle Champ.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just great. It's just great that they created that.
That's actually good because they will remember that long after we have forgotten.
Yeah.
They will remember. I got another kind of mini woo here. Sting's thank you. I really liked his thank you to the audience just because he was like, he did a great job this past Sunday. His match, in my opinion, was the best on the card. I like that one the most. And he did a great job. And he was very happy with that, like thanking the crowd.
What happened? Did something happen in the thank you? It wasn't. It was just a genuine thank you.
No,
right?
it was just it was a genuine thank you. And then Scorpio Sky started clapping, but he was clapping for too long before they turned it to him. So all you hear was this one clap, and it was
a little weird. Yeah. Yeah, Darby. I don't think Darby heard it or something. I don't know. I just could tell he was about to start talking on the mic. It was very awkward.
Just a few things here. My woo was Don Callis pretending a TV was a touchscreen. Very good, Chica Marks. That's a very fun woo. I'm so glad you guys are giving us your woos and whats. Biggest what of the night was commentary in general. JR was off all night. Swiz, very interesting comment because we're going to talk about that. Do you have any other woos for the evening?
No, let's talk about that. Let's talk about JR.
Yeah, let's talk about JR. I think that's fair.
No, it's not worth it. Okay, I get real quick about the Vicky segment with Andrade. I just wrote something down that I had to say to you of how it started with Mark Henry coming out, right? The world's strongest man. And then Vicky comes out immediately and then is like, get out of the ring, get out. And then the world's strongest man is like, okay. I just love in this universe that they're both terrified of Vicky Guerrero enough to be like, I'm not messing with that.
That's very funny.
I just thought it was great. Yeah.
That is very funny. And Mark Henry was good. I'm excited. I am more excited for Mark Henry as an announcer than I was Big Show. Mark Henry, I really like on the mic. Mark Henry is really good. You ever see his retirement promo
with the salmon suit? Yeah, of course.
The salmon suit promo. It's just Chico Marks. Here's some homework. Check out Mark Henry's salmon suit farewell, the full thing. You could probably find it on YouTube, but check that out. It's very good. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. Let's get on with the rules. Let's just get to the what's of the evening. JR. Let's talk quickly about JR because it was brought up. JR was off tonight. We agree. JR couldn't say Adillo right.
Oh yeah, that was.
I don't know if I'm saying it.
Egregious one. Yeah, that he didn't figure that.
There was a few things he said that was weird.
Yeah.
He was talking later on. Well, first let's talk about the Adillo. First thing, I want to say it right. Edillo.
I don't know about that. I don't think it's like armadillo. I think it's
Andrade Edillo.
I don't want to do this. I don't know.
We're not going to continue this. We're not going to be JR, all right? But we will say that we will look it up and try our best. But the way he handled that is after he couldn't say it, he's just like, well, I'm going to have to work on that name. I know him. He's very good. And he wouldn't let it go. Well into Excalibur stopped talking. Excalibur bowed out. I really want to watch it again because it was almost comical. You're just like, he messes up the name. I got to work on that name. But I know he's very popular.
That's what was happening. He was embarrassed and was trying to feel better. And And we just wanted him to stop and move on from it. I've been there. But yeah.
Chico Mark says idolo. So I'm going to say that makes some sense. Yeah, and then he also said later on, Tony's like, that's a crazy woman. And then JR's like, yeah, you know something about crazy women. And then it just got awkward. And it was just another one of Tony and JR's awkward old men moments that are usually something that you get embarrassed at when you're at a family reunion. You're like, that's weird. What's going on, Dad? Like that type of thing. It's just a very uncomfortable two old guys that have these inside jokes that go decades and they're trying to do it on show, you know? What are your thoughts on JR being a fucking
I've just come to accept it. I don't know. It's just like weekly one of the like most annoying things about the show, but they're going to keep him around for a while. So, you know,
he was amped up.
Was he amped up?
He seemed like he had his booster shot. He gets testosterone.
Yeah, I honestly just like kind of tune it out at this point. I just watch the show, and I don't listen to the commentary very much, except for Dark. I listen to Taz and Excalibur. Everything they say is gold.
Yeah,
but that's a different show.
Except when they're being jerks.
The jerk part is great.
Sometimes they're just jerks. They're just mean.
But that's fun. They're having fun.
It is fun.
Sleep deprived.
It is fun.
You know,
they're really having a fun time. I like it in the way that I'm also like those guys, you know, where it's almost like a guilty pleasure to watch that show. What's a big what that you had tonight, Moet?
Real quick, Smoiz says Mark Henry also said he could have a match.
How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. He looks like he's in shape. Why not throw him in there for a match or two? Sure. Why not?
I guess I'm excited for a Big Show match, but I'm excited for Mark Henry commentary. Yeah. Like that's what I want. I want a Big Show match. Mark Henry has never been because Mark Henry is a spectacle wrestler, and he's never been big enough of a spectacle when there's Big Show in the same company. So I've never really saw him as like, oh, you're going to face Mark Henry. I never really saw it because I thought Big Show, even though Big Show is the giant, but he's also the world's strongest man to me.
Tell me more about the spectacle wrestler thing. Because, you're saying world's strongest man. But how is that different than what Big Show is? Or
they're both
that's what I was thinking, right?
They're both spectacle wrestlers, but and Mark Henry and Big Show have always been in the same company. And whenever I saw Mark Henry and they say he's the world's strongest man, I'm like, yeah, he's the world's strongest man for his height, but Big Show is the world's strongest man in my brain, you know, like because he's just bigger and stronger. And so I never really thought of Mark Henry as a real special attraction to me.
I get it.
He is very talented. He's very special. People like him. They want to see him wrestle. He's a very talented guy, but I just never got it. I like some of his matches and I like some of his programs, but he's never been a Big Show. Like I want to see Big Show wrestle again. Wait, we see Mark Henry wrestle again?
Sounds like you're more excited about size. You want to see a big guy.
Well, that's the point of liking someone like Mark Henry is because he's so big and powerful. You know, that's his whole thing. I'm so strong. But anything he's done, I've seen Big Show do to bigger people.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Moving on. I don't have anything to say to that one. I'm getting tired.
What's another big what we've got going on?
These friggin' 10 Friday nights Dynamite shows. They're making me sleepy. All right?
Oh, sure. We have to figure out a solution for this because then we record tomorrow. maybe we could go to an NXT watch for maybe until they go back to Wednesdays.
Yeah, I think they're sticking.
We could punish AEW and
punish TK because then they won't have all of our ideas anymore. Yeah,
they won't have all our ideas. Sound off in the comments if you think that's a good idea. But yeah, these Friday nights are brutal. I feel like, and also they book the nights weird because of it. I feel like they front loaded. The main event was Amarado and Dustin in a bull route match. I had no idea that this match was going to happen until maybe 30 minutes before it ended. The show ended. And they crammed it in there. Like there was like 12 minutes left. And I'm like, they're going to have a bull rope match with 12 minutes left. Like it was almost impossible to think. I feel like they're booking these to be like, let's get all our stuff in here, and if we run over, we'll scrap the last match. Yeah. Like they're no longer thinking, oh, we have this big match that we want you to stay till, because they know it's Friday night, and any minute that you're watching, you're getting sleepier and sleepier, or you're going out or something like that. So I feel like they booked this night so weird. There was 4 tag team matches and 1 singles match.
That singles match?
1 singles match and 1 bull rope match.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And there were 3 tag team matches. The entire first hour was just 3 tag team matches.
Pretty weird. Yeah, it was a very strange one. Yeah, and the ratings plummeted last week. I don't know if you saw that. I just happened to look at it right before the episode started tonight. Like they were hitting like 1.2 million. They were on a streak of like 3 shows in a row where they were over 1 million views, which is incredible. And then this one was 500K last week's, which is obviously it's a major drop, but expected because it's Friday night. But it's still just a shame.
Do we know when they're coming back?
Well, so it's the NBA playoffs right now. So whenever that's over with, I think so. It's next week.
Sound off in the comments when you know the NBA playoffs are over, because we don't know.
It's definitely next week. I think it's another week after that. I think it's at least 2 weeks. And then a Saturday night. Yeah, then the Saturday Night Dynamite, I think, is what has happened. And that's going to be like a mini pay-per-view sort of thing. So yeah.
Man, we have to fix these things. We have to get back to Wednesday nights when it was nice and it would fit so well in our schedule moment. It fits so well.
We have some news here. We have some news about Smwiz. Aha! I hate the Friday Night Dynamite.
So we're learning more and more about Smwiz.
For me. Aha! Okay, because Smwiz.
And Chica Mark says, "Where are you, Smwiz?"
Smwiz doesn't.
Smwiz.
I'm getting a warning, and I just lost my train of thought.
Smwiz. We're slowly finding out who you are. And
Smwiz doesn't want to tell us who they are, and they prefer it that way.
Well,
but
the internet. Well, the internet is vast. Maybe they just don't.
They just like watching at 3 a.m.
Maybe they're just being supportive of us, and it's nice.
No.
We're trying to.
This is a case. They created the case. Smwiz created the case.
He did create the case
to understand.
Chica Marks, excellent detective work. Chica Marks.
This is a game changer.
We're finding out slowly but surely. I'm starting to think that Smwiz is Tony Khan. That's what I'm thinking. I think Smwiz is Tony Khan, and that's how all the ideas are getting out. Because
they just said they're from the UK. Okay. You must have just said that.
I thought we were on the same boat.
No, I just lost my. Well, that's it. I'm just catching up. I'm sorry.
Did all this great detective work.
You said that, and I didn't understand what you were saying.
Chica Marks has been working out. I've been set up. No, Smwiz, we don't want to trap you.
I want to trap.
We don't want to trap you, Smwiz.
We're cornering. I'm all right. Let's move on. I've got
to talk to you about one big what I've had is the Inner Circle parade, and them talking. They're talking about how they won and all this stuff. A few things I have a problem with. So Inner Circle had a halftime Heat Harlem Hangover. What is that match called?
Stampede?
Stadium Stampede. I just couldn't. I was just saying all the words. I just said, Stadium Stampede. And they beat the Pinnacle. First thing, why did they beat the Pinnacle? They had an easy out with Jericho's arm. They couldn't just let Pinnacle Pinnacle look like shit. The Pinnacle don't matter. But either way, they had this Inner Circle parade going on where they're talking about how great they are. And Sammy, goddamn Sammy, that kid, what did you think about his promo?
The promo. Oh, the promo was fine. I mean, but he did great on the match. The whole match was designed for him to shine towards the end, and that's he did great fine. Because he deserves it as he's a great wrestler. It's great to see that spotlight. You didn't like the.
I guess I just hated the entire segment. I hated them all talking. I hate Jack Swagger or Jake Hager asking Wardlow to have a match, an MMA style match.
That's fine with me. Why are you so disgusted by it? What's going on?
Because I feel like there's certain. I don't want to say there's certain rules, but call it something else. MMA is basically like saying, "Oh, I want an MMA style match with you." Is basically saying, "Oh, well, I'm going to have a real match with you," which is not I don't like them disrespecting wrestling. I wish he said, I want a cage
Oh,
match with you. I want a Lion's Den match with you. I want a match where it's submission only. These rules. Don't say, oh, I want like a real.
yeah.
I find it
That's actually
insulting.
a really good point. I didn't think of it that way. I thought you were just hating the concept of an MMA cage match,
No, I'm
but
fine.
that
I'm
makes
fine
sense.
because they did it in TNA when they called it a shoot match, which also I hated. But like have like oh like this is a Lions Den match. Remember
Yeah.
Lions Den?
Yeah, we talk about it all the
Have
time,
a
actually.
Lions Den
It's
match.
weirdly enough. That's come up like a lot.
We
Yeah,
do bring it
somehow
up
it
a
has,
lot.
yeah.
We do bring it. It's very funny. But
Although
like you know what I mean? Like I
what I'm
just want
thinking is sorry to interrupt you. But
no give me
so right now what's happening in MMA in that world, one of the things, Jake Paul, terrible YouTube personality. He's a boxer.
yeah,
They
piece
both
of shit.
the Paul brothers are boxers right now. Or have been. But
Garbage.
but Jake Paul is challenging MMA fighters. He just beat up Ben Askren, who's a great wrestler, kind of washed up MMA fighter now. He's challenging Tyrone Woodley, who used to be UFC champ, and he's probably going to beat him too. So what the thing is, what people are talking about is it's different. You can be really great at one thing, but you can't. It doesn't transfer to another MMA sport,
Sure.
or it's not MMA, but a martial arts sport, boxing in this
Yeah.
case. So like maybe this is the same deal where like you can say like, you might be a great pro wrestler, but you're not a good MMA fighter, or is that just destroying kayfabe because it's clearly like, oh, well, this is
No,
obviously real and this is pro wrestling.
I feel like there's a way to do it where you could appease both people, you know, and I just feel they didn't do that. They just went the easy route with just saying, "Oh, well, I am undefeated in MMA," which is like I almost feel MMA should never be uttered
Mm-hmm.
in wrestling. You know, and I just feel like it's better not to. There's other words that you could do. You could call it a death cage match. You could call it no holds or no holds barred. That's already a thing. But you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Someone was saying it could be like the GCW Bloodsport type deal.
Yeah, Bloodsport is a perfect example of not calling it MMA but calling it Bloodsport. It's going to be a more intense wrestling. And so, like, Bloodsport's a perfect thing. They call it Bloodsport. Like, there's a name you could make that could show that. WWE did it in 90s with the Lions Den. They kind of did it in Impact Wrestling. I forget what they called it, but I would just appreciate if
That's
they
totally
did it
fair.
here
Yeah.
rather than. That's my big
Because I
issue.
was thinking, I mean, they're doing it because of Hager's like Bellator reign, but like Ken Shamrock had UFC, and they turned it into a Lions Den.
Mm-hmm,
They didn't call it a
mm-hmm,
MMA,
mm-hmm.
UFC cage or whatever. The Lions Den, which was already a thing. It's good. That's
It's
a good point,
perfect.
Red. I didn't think of it that way.
But that's all the what's I have.
What did you think about the bunny versus Red Velvet? Real quick. Nah, nothing.
It felt a little sloppy at times. I felt a little sloppy, and I feel like I like Red Velvet a lot, but she just I don't think I think she's just a little bit too new with like some of the things that she's doing. Like she's like choking her out with her foot, and I'm like, that's a heel move. And I understand that like the line's blurred, but she's Red Velvet. She's right out of your mama's kitchen. Like why is she doing heel shit? Like she should just be a fucking
Is that a good thing? That's a
red
good
hot
thing.
baby face.
To be right out of your
What?
mama's kitchen?
I think it is.
You
I'd assume it is. Everything out of your mama's kitchen
Okay.
tastes great.
Yeah.
It's like oh, it's home cooked. It's good.
Is that
it's
why
hearty.
she does the whole
It's
the whole
healthy, it's
thing like
home.
this thing that's like tastes good.
She's
Making a
stirring.
good
Yeah,
soup.
she's stirring. She's stirring it up. That's what she's doing. She's stirring it up. But like I don't like her. It just feels like she throws everything out.
Oh, it's like that. That was a lot of fun to
Red Velvet dive spot, and she hit hard. Chica Marks brought up the dive that she did to the outside where she fell on her head. There was a lot of people falling on their heads tonight, and there was a lot of sloppiness in this match particularly. But there's that fall. There was another one with Jungle Boy taking one of the members of Private Party and almost dropping them on their head when he was on the turnbuckle. And then maybe I just noticed this, or maybe this didn't happen at all, but during that match, one of the members of Private Party just slams their forearm hard on Christian's head. And it looked like it, and I was just like, he has a concussion problem. we need to be
Gotta be
careful with his
careful.
head. But yeah. Oh, that was Smiz. I'm sorry, that wasn't Chica Marks. I saw Chica Marks say "haha," or I saw something. I'm. Now it's late. It's late. Mo's dying over here.
Yeah,
What
I
are
look
the
I
what
look
are the
rough.
what are
I'm
the
so
what's
sorry, everybody.
what are the what's we got? What are the
What
what's
other
we got?
what's? Yeah, I just don't want to talk about it. There's a lot of meh stuff that's just like not fun to talk. The bull rope match, we didn't
Yeah,
really talk. Did we talk about it? Not much. It was just fine.
first because it's a second. It's a
Yeah,
blip.
it just was
It's
weird that
a
they decided to do it. I think Dustin has done that multiple times now where he's I'm assuming it's his suggestions because they're all very weird Texas-based things like the bunkhouse match. There's another one that just like happened.
house and
I think that one had maybe like a week
yeah,
build, but still it was just like here's a
yeah.
thing where we're just all gonna
This one I
bleed
didn't even know.
and
And
look gross.
did they even announce it at all
What,
during the
the bull
show?
rope match?
Yeah,
No.
because
Or
I only saw it maybe the last half. I saw it. Like, I wonder if there's like a production issue and they're just like, we need something quick. He's like, I got a rope. I don't know.
He carries around
But
with him all the
yeah,
time
this
just for this moment. Yeah.
I
I
know.
liked it in
This was a
theory because
weird.
I like making the guy he fought. What, Nick? What's his last name? Camarado.
Camarado.
I like him. I
Camarado.
want to see him as more of a presence, more of a threat. And I thought
Yeah,
if this was done better, that could have been the thing. Because there were moments where he looked great, like a monster. But it just didn't land.
I'm worried he'll never be the monster we want because AEW will never
Oh,
allow
wait a
it.
sec. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Smoy's just mentioned
What do you got?
something that would change the subject. And the
Yeah, the
Bucks match was
Bucks
great.
match.
Thank you.
Let's
It was
talk
great. It was
about
the
the
best
Bucks
match of the
match.
show.
It felt like it was the main
Yes.
event. Why did it start the show? It started the show with the hottest tag match in the like that was on the show, the hottest one, and then every other match before after it was tag matches that were not as fast or as impactful. It was just weird that you start off the match so hot and not a single thing after it is even intended. It had the
No,
most time
they
too.
tried. At least when you're thinking about the start, and I think in theory the bull rope match was supposed to be a really crazy match. I think that's what they wanted it
They
to do.
didn't even tell us
No,
about.
but I think as far as like planning it out, like you always want to start the show off hot and exciting, and then you want to end it even bigger, right? That's what you're saying. I think in theory they were trying to do that. It just didn't land, right? Yeah.
Sure, but like if they start a match with the Bucks, who are going to take more time than anyone else, and they're going to have the longest match on any card they are on, they're going to start the night with the longest match, and then every other match, the next two matches after that were tag matches. Like how are those other matches, those other tag team matches, which have half the time, ever be able to compete with the one that just happened? Like, I feel like at least break it up with a singles match. Give us some varying times here. They just had one long tag team match followed by two short tag team matches. It just felt
That's fair.
stupid.
That's fair. It is stupid. But what did you think about the match itself?
It was good. It was a good. It's just like another Bucks match. I don't know.
I thought it was fun.
Another
Four
Bucks match.
Four
Like, and it is
great
good.
wrestlers.
It was.
You know they're gonna have a great match.
It was a
One
good
thing I
match.
loved was the Bucks are particularly great at this. Much better than most of the other wrestlers on the roster is like paying attention to like long-term in-ring storytelling, long-term in-ring storytelling. I only found two or three like very obvious ones. Like the obvious one was the mask issue where like a few weeks ago, was it Matt Jackson facing Phoenix, and he ended it by ripping his mask off.
Rip off his mask.
Which was a very very bad thing to do to another wrestler, to take their mask off. And so this time Pentagon knew, because he researched it and he had seen the match, he had talked to Phoenix, he knew that mask thing was going to happen, so he not only blocked it and countered it the first time, but he wore two masks to be able to kick him in the nuts when he least expected it. And that's pretty good. That's a very well earned kick in the balls, right?
Yeah,
Smart.
It was, and I will say it was a good match. I just wish that match went on at the end. I felt it just wasn't fair. I wish the night started off with that bull rope match. That would have been a cool way to start off the night.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to have fun here. I'm trying to talk about how great the Young Bucks match was.
Ooh, let's talk about Private Party's stupid
All
outfits
right,
now.
yeah, it was kind of stupid, wasn't it? I thought it was. I liked how their entrance was cool, but then I didn't realize that they were actually going to wrestle like that, and I was like a little bummed out. But
Yeah, they look like Office Max employees.
Yeah. I guess were they trying to look like they're going like to the club afterwards or something?
That doesn't look like
or
a
were
club
they like
outfit. I
Wall
wouldn't
Street
wear that.
people with Big Money Matt?
I don't know. Because I'm not a hip guy, Moe. I don't know if you know this, but I'm not a hip guy. And I was like, those guys look lame.
Mm-hmm.
They look like shit.
I agree. Oh, Red, are you okay?
We're doing so good. We're doing so good. I get a kick out of Matt's silliness. I think we're talking with Matt Hardy or Matt Jackson
in that match. A lot of hip thrusting, a lot Matt of Jackson. Yeah, a lot of. They were having a good time out there. I like the match.
It was a good match.
There was
even though I think that what was it that the Jungle Boy and Christian match was better.
Oh, you did? You like that? Wait, Jungle Boy and Christian. That didn't happen. You mean
Jungle Boy and Christian versus Private Party?
You like that tag team match? Okay.
Yeah, I was fine with it.
What?
I don't know, Moe. I don't know, Moe.
All right. One thing that I should mention really quick. Atticus. Yeah, the khaki pants were not a great look. Definitely felt like a minimum wage job uniform. Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm. Totally definitely. Definitely. You look like an intern.
Yeah. There was a thing, Brandon Cutler, he's playing like the part of like a young boy from New Japan.
Sure.
And at one point, someone said on the commentary that everyone needs a young boy. Oh, Don Callis. Don Callis must have been like, look how great he is. He's our young boy. Everyone needs a young boy. And Barb had no idea what a young boy is in pro wrestling. So she's just like, what? And I was like, hold on. And we had to just like stop and be like, there's reasoning behind this. It was very funny out of context. Yeah, young boys, that's like a thing in New Japan, particularly the younger sort of amateur wrestlers as they're learning and training in their first couple years. They basically do what Brandon Cutler was doing. Just kind of take care of the wrestlers in kayfabe, hang around the ring, set up tables and whatever they need to do. Yeah.
And I like his, honestly, this has been the best use of Brandon Cutler since he's been with the company. Is that fair? Like him being a dragon Kratos was not winning me over.
I like that as like a dark, like jobber sort of thing, but it was super lame. It was, and I like that he was trying, you know?
I would love, you ever watch, you watched South Park when you were younger, right? Remember Butters? And remember Butters' evil master, Captain Chaos, or Professor Chaos? I almost see Brandon Cutler being like this video guy, just like shooting all this stuff, and he's being like this young boy. And then like in the shadows, he's just like becoming like Kratos, Brandon Cutler, just like, I will get my revenge. And he's just he's just this nerdy guy when he gets to wrestle. He's super nerdy. He's like so powerful in his brain, but it's never any other time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he's Professor Chaos.
You're saying that it doesn't show in reality, but in his head and his promos and stuff, he's like,
it's all in his head. He's this epic godlike wrestler, and he has to play it safe and cool. So he gets abused by the Bucks all the time. He's just like, I'll take it. You don't know my real power. And then when he wrestles, he thinks he's like all powerful, but he just loses. But he's just like, I won this game.
Yeah, that
like he always.
That dragon costume would be perfect for that. If he's like backstage and the promos are actually like really dramatic and like, I don't know, moody lighting and stuff. And then he comes out the way he always comes out with that, and he's breathing fire. It's
just does that have to change a thing? Does that have to change a thing? Sound off if you think that'd be a good idea. Let's get Brandon Cutler on top.
I like his thing. Right? I think he's what he's doing right now. I think he's just like doing it over the top. Like he's too much like a Scooby-Doo cartoon character, which is a little annoying to me. But in general, I think it's a fun role for him.
Yeah, because what the thing is, in order to make that role work, you have to show how you feel about it. Like the thing is, like if you're not taking the time to just show that it's like it's beating you up inside, or like you're stressed about it, or or you're happy, excited about it. He's just doing nothing. He's just doing all the physics of it, but none of the
Yeah, he's very
emotion.
bad at that. He's not a good actor, and doesn't seem like he's
Which
trying
is
to become a good actor in any way. So yeah.
but what's his name? Knock. He is doing some A
Oh
plus
man, yeah,
work.
that was one of my favorite parts, where the Young Bucks tried to do the good guy thing, like the Bret Hart thing, where they
Yeah, they
like
put the pen.
Bret puts the glasses on a kid in the audience. Cody did that with whatever item he gave it to a kid in the audience, and then they give what he did. What did he give Nakazawa?
Or he gave him this
Oh, just this like
bandana or
stupid.
the
I think it was a
sunglasses or
stupid
something.
beady bandana, and he put it on
Yeah.
Nakazawa.
And then it's just like, yeah, it's so good. It's
Yeah.
very funny. And he gets beat up really well. He's really good at that. He's a good
Yeah.
stooge. Brandon Cutler still has to learn. He's being too much of he's trying too hard. That's
Nakazawa's
the
a
issue.
great.
He's always trying too
Yeah,
hard.
I agree with that, and I gotta say, but also Nakazawa's a great wrestler too. Like I want to see him wrestle all the time with his oil gimmick. It's so funny to me. He doesn't get to do it very often. So
Well, hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. I think that's all the stuff that I've got,
yeah, me
Moet.
too. That was fun.
Oh, what a fun time we've had talking about Nakazawa, and we're talking about the Bucks, and we're talking about Death Trial, all the things that you heard today. But check us out on Loser Leaves Wrestling on Instagram, and send us some emails to Loser Leaves Pod so we could get some questions for Moet's mailbag that we do every Saturday with the news you can't lose. But make sure to follow us on all the things and review us on all the things, and make sure if you live in the Austin, Texas area, to go June 16th to the Long Center to watch Moat and I's movie Night on Sixth.
Yeah,
Right, I did it all.
Great job.
Because last time I just said our movie and didn't give them that information. It's at the Long Center. It's part of the Austin Asian American Film Festival. Please check it out. And thank you all so much. My name is Red Jefferson, and I'm here with. And Moet, if you were one of the fingers, one of the 5 fingers, which finger would you be?
I know what you're thinking. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say the thumb. The thumb, the most important finger. Without the thumb, you can't do anything with it. Try to pick up a banana without a thumb. Yeah, but you could, but it's not as precise.
I can't even pick up my phone. Thank you all so much, everyone.
All right.
Thumb.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
This was a great time. See you next week.